in there. This sensor, sometimes they just get a little, lose their brains a bit.
Okay.
All you do is like, you hold that button down and it'll reset the sensor.
Couple seconds.
I'll go tell the operators.
Yeah.
They'll be pushing that all day, every day.
Yeah.
Okay, I can get registered back to all
You want to start just analyzer or you want to do the whole thing?
Me, just analyzer for the most part.
Sweet, let's do that. Outlet sample. So we're obviously pulling the outlet sample only.
Yeah.
We pull the outlet sample only because we don't care what the inlet is on these analyzers. We only care what's leaving.
Yeah.
That's controlling the pumps, and that's effectively the most important line in the unit. Is
Okay.
keeping that thing clean. If you put a whole bunch of gas through here at once, you slug a bunch of chemistry over or liquid or whatever that is, there's a potential to flood that thing. And if it floods all the way to here, we do have a liquid stop in here
Yeah.
and then a switch.
Okay.
So if the switch trips,
Low pressure switch.
yeah, then you know that, hey, we probably flooded our sample system.
Okay.
What can happen, you know, if you get chemistry in the sample system, obviously you're not gonna ever read H2S because it's sweetening it just like anything else.
It would just dilute the
Like
H2S right
positive
there.
feedback, right?
Gotcha.
In a bad way. So yeah, consumable here and a consumable here, and he wrote down the model numbers, Steve did.
Okay.
And then obviously the tape, so every month, and every month, you're likely gonna be doing that. As soon as your tape runs out, go and have a look at your filters. If they look fine, keep them in there,
Okay.
doesn't matter.
Is it one of those things that is pretty consistent or worse on startup, or like it should just be pretty consistent, you'd hope?
It's gonna be consistent because it's based on how you guys operate. If you have a lot of liquid carryover, you see people that ramp up and down all the time and they don't care what they do. It's gonna be full of liquid, you know.
Yeah.
You guys have separation upstream.
Mhm.
Sometimes we have customers, a lot of hydrocarbons coming in, and then they're flooding it with chemistry and hydrocarbon, and it's
Just a
a
mess.
mess. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
This guy, we don't program him.
Okay.
He's connected to a solenoid wherever they
Yeah,
mounted it.
back over here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
This is your auto drain essentially.
Okay.
We've tried those manual auto drains and we're trying to move towards something like this.
Okay.
Essentially, you could probably get away with once every 12 hours with how
Okay.
much liquid you're likely going to see in there.
Okay.
If you end up seeing an issue here, then just crank up the cadence on this and do it every 4 hours or something. I don't know if they program them at all. I haven't talked to anyone about it.
I do hear that vent off every once in a while.
Okay.
Go off, so I think it triggers that.
Okay.
Seems to be, maybe it's every hour or two, I'm not sure, but
Okay.
there's a few times I've heard it. When that dumps, does your sample come down enough so that your reading would be affected at all?
No, because the reading's an average over about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how
Okay.
sour you are.
Okay, so can you do a quick filter change without affecting it too much? Or is that something a guy should bypass your reading?
If you're doing a filter change, you're likely gonna end up at 0 here,
Okay,
and you're gonna wanna turn on your pumps.
Okay.
So, because that reading's sent into your DCS has set points to control the pumps, and you don't wanna shut down. You come in, put these guys in manual,
yeah,
and then you go and do your filter change.
okay,
You'd bring him back online. Bring him back online, and then make sure you're getting the reading again,
Okay.
and then flip your pumps back to auto.
okay.
Standard regulator, it says right here, set to 10 PSI and then the float at 2.
Okay.
If you foul your sample, you're obviously gonna see your rotor meter might be affected too, or it might just start drifting down. You guys are low pressure. Shouldn't have a whole lot of JT effect, but if you did, you'll see your regulator freezing off upstream, and then that can start to affect, obviously, this guy and this guy.
Okay.
But again, low pressure, you guys are warm, you're probably gonna be just fine, you won't have an issue with that.
Okay.
It's when we see, you know, we're dropping 500 PSI or more, when we get JT effect issues. Sample sweep. So this guy is just to keep any additional liquids from getting in here. All we say is we just barely crack that open.
Okay.
And it keeps your sample a little bit fresher. It's kind of, they just say, oh, it's your fast loop. You can turn it up and get the freshest sample in as you can. But essentially what's going on is you're taking an average sample every 5 to 10 minutes. So our process is slow to begin with.
Yeah, it's
We're
not
not
one
quick.
that's gonna.
Yeah, we're not like controlling pressure or anything like that. It's a very slow process. You've got this huge
I was gonna say
vat of
it's a
chemistry.
giant
Yeah.
process.
If it was a direct inject or
Sampling a tiny
something,
bit.
then you'd be very up and down.
Okay.
But that's such a huge buffer that if you shut off your pumps, you're gonna see your H2S just like barely come up. And then, same thing, when you hit it, your pumps are turning on and they're hitting that chemistry as it comes in.
Okay.
It'll start to bring it down a little bit quicker than it went up.
Okay. One question about the sample. The guy over there, there's something in the manual and we have one. There's like a filter, inline filter type deal. We had one and that came with the stuff. Yeah, I think it was a Genie.
Not in this unit though.
No, but it's like it's
Yeah.
just on our bench in the shop. I don't know if it got installed at all.
Oh, no,
It's in there?
It was originally.
Inline, we'll take a look at the other units.
Okay, yeah, because we have one on our bench and we're like, oh, I wonder if we should add 3 of these and if they should be installed, so.
Oh, okay. We'll go see what you mean, yeah.
Okay.
Before I leave.
Yeah,
So yeah, samples coming in here. 2 is the setting. They're coming through a humidifier. Use acetic acid because you don't want it to get moldy with just water.
okay.
I think it came with acetic acid.
Yeah, we
Steve
got
said
some
he got
stuff
some.
in the boxes there.
Yeah, so it's just coming down here and then you just have a permeable tube that picks up the moisture and then gets into here. So
Okay.
this is your sample chamber inlet and your sample chamber outlet.
Okay,
So essentially it's getting here, this tape moves, it'll stain here for, like I said, 5 to 10 minutes. If it's super sweet, like your 1 ppm or less, it's gonna take more like 10 minutes. If it's up in that, you guys are talking about running 7 to 9, then it'll probably take like 5 minutes. Just to give you an idea.
okay,
You're gonna use more tape the higher up that H2S is.
okay.
The nature of the stain, you're gonna see these little squares. It's gonna move every half an inch, every time, every 10 minutes, and then you're just gonna be able to look at this and be like, oh, I can see all the squares and all the stains. If the stain is very like even, crisp edges, then you know everything's pretty healthy.
Okay.
If half of it's staining or it's bleeding out the side, then there's maybe not something set here correctly.
Okay.
There could be an issue. Usually it's a pressure issue. So we go out here and then we leave into this adductor. So this is at extreme, like it's basically at 0 pressure inside that sample chamber.
Okay.
So that's why they use this guy. This guy underneath is a hole
Mm-hmm.
and he is a suction. It's a vacuum.
Okay.
So we use instrument air to drive an adductor, just like a jet nozzle. If you run that jet nozzle past this, it'll vacuum him out.
It'll pull it out.
And then and also needs that hole in there to grab that extra vacuum. This is a super sensitive vent. You'll see it on the outside. We go to a T and then we go up to Eve, just to, any gas can go at the top and then any kind of liquid or debris can go at the bottom.
Okay.
Those will get full of, because it's such a low pressure vent, bugs like to get in there.
Mm-hmm.
And so you'll see, maybe if you have a weird stain on here, it's maybe a
Not
pressure
venting
thing.
properly.
And just blow that thing out with a little bit
Because
of
if you're
water
not
or
venting
something.
properly, then you're not coming in properly. Kind of
Exactly,
thing,
yeah. We can get to the board. You guys don't really use a whole lot on here because you are using your DCS to do everything. So really, we're just taking our analog output here
Yeah.
back to your DCS, and then you guys are controlling the pumps from there.
Because there is those relays and they are wired in. People thought that we were using those and this to control stuff.
So originally, we kind of went back and forth saying, are we using this or are we using the DCS system?
Yep.
If it's DCS, then great. If it's this, then great. I just need to know, because I'm pretty sure that Relay 3 is not programmed right
Okay.
now.
Okay.
So,
I'll have to find out because last I heard we were using this, or maybe we just assumed we were using this because they're wired in and they're in there.
Okay.
So, like, to me, it makes more sense to use the DCS, honestly. You just have one signal going back, you got multiple potential points of failure kind of thing, and that's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Easier to control, you can see better what's going on, but
No, I
I don't know what they're
agree.
using, or?
I'd have to confirm, but the way, what I got from DCS last email was, I understood it as we're using DCS points.
Okay.
As they were explaining the controls that they have set up.
Because they have terms for pump run, pump start, stop, all that kind of stuff, I think, so.
Sure.
So, I mean, in that junction box, because I think they did wire these through the handoff autos
Okay,
originally.
okay.
So they might have pulled that all apart and replaced it with relays from DCS.
I'll find
Yeah.
out. Okay. How often do you change that, the fluid in there, the acetic acid?
Not very often. It takes
No.
a long time. Yeah. Just have a peek in there here and there. Make sure it's not all foul
Looks
or
gross.
something. Yeah.
Okay.
Change it out. Your mod bus wiring off of here, I don't know. There are some useful registers that live in there that you guys can grab. There's a low tape sensor. There's low temp, which isn't a big deal. Like this is going to be heated building. And then there's a sensor. I can't remember the exact name. It's like sensor fail or sensor or something. I think it's so when the sensor. And I can run through the screen here, but
Okay.
so this is going to live normally like this.
Okay.
You want to get through the menu. These are those set points, so relay 1 and 2. It's
Okay.
going to activate at 1.5 and 2. What should happen is relay 3 should be on here as well.
Okay. Like a third point. Like
Yeah,
a
it should
2.5 or 3 ppm.
It should say high, and then high, or something like that. And
Okay.
really what they wanted was pump 1 and 2 to operate on the same one anyways.
Okay.
And then pump 3 is the backup. But we would change this around if you're not using DCS.
Okay.
2.98, that's the factory gain. We barely ever mess with that, ever. Like I was saying to Steve, I mean, if you had big temp swings, ambient temp swings, where in the summer this thing's outside and it's 100 degrees Fahrenheit or 40 Celsius or something, and then you go in the winter, you're down to 10 degrees or whatever, that's when you would recalibrate.
Okay. So we should be pretty solid though.
It should be just fine. You probably won't have to touch it ever.
Okay.
We'll see people try and they'll use a wrong dragger tube or something on the outlet, and then they go, oh, it's actually reading 10, but you have the wrong dragger tube, and then you come up here and crank up the gain. And then essentially what you did is, oh, okay, we're gonna add in mercaptan interference, right? We just crank the gain, it's reading higher than it should, and it's gonna keep the pumps on a lot more. And you're gonna waste a lot of cash.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
this is a live sensor reading. So this thing's just, its analog output to the board is in millivolts.
Okay.
So every time it resets the tape, it's gonna give you that 0, which is high, 1,000 millivolts. As it stains, this drops.
Okay.
So you'll see, if you wanna watch it and you're trying to diagnose or you're on the phone with somebody, you're like, you see these millivolts start to drop, they'll drop to probably around 500 and then it'll reset the tape. And that's the determining factor, the time. If you get to that sensor range where it's like, oh, we're down to 500 millivolts, it'll just start a new sample.
Okay.
At the end of that sample, it kicks out the new reading every time.
Okay.
So it'll live with the old reading until the sample's done, and then it kicks the new one,
Then
resamples.
it advances, that goes back up to around 1,000
Exactly.
and then works its way down as it stains it.
Yep.
Okay.
That's your board temp in Fahrenheit. You can get it in Celsius on there. Motor run, that's simple. When you replace the tape, there's essentially just a notch, and you put it in the notch, you spin the tape around a little bit, and then you put this on, and then you want to tighten it up, obviously. So just run this as many times as you need. It's just going to keep pulling it.
Okay. Which one did you hit to make it?
Just
do?
the right
Okay.
side.
So this one pulls snug to there, and then this is
It's loose down here.
loose
yeah.
down there
Exactly.
with the feed. Okay. Okay.
You can change your AO span on here. There's no 0 on it, it's just 0, but
Yeah.
the span is 20.
Okay. So we could do that freely if we wanted to, like, as long as we change, I guess, our DCS, because the 4 to 20, but we're set for 20, we're calibrated for
You're calibrated for 20, but it'll read higher.
Okay.
It'll keep reading, like, it'll read, I say to 50,
Okay.
Just not as accurate.
but your AO is just gonna
Read
overread.
over it, yeah.
And then,
Well, I
But yeah,
think
if you
we're
guys
at
wanted to
20
line up
into
with
that now,
DCS.
right? So we should get there.
No, we shouldn't, not when we're operating.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it happens, you know.
Yeah.
You'll slug over chemistry or whatever, and you'll open up a big slug, and H2S will come in,
Fair enough.
and we'll rock it too hard, and then it'll come back down.
And
If you,
considers, overranging these, like, does that hurt them at all?
it hurts the tape. It's just gonna, like, if you really rock this thing, then the tape would just stain so bad it would fall off. So there's different sizes of aperture inside. So if you guys wanted to read 0 to 100, you put a different aperture size in there, and then you calibrate for that. This one's no aperture, so it reads like 0 to 50 ppm. You can get these alone to read all the way up to 500 if you wanted to.
Okay.
It's just a tiny laser dot aperture, and so it stains the tape a lot smaller, less. Rev 985, it's just your firmware. And you just leave that like that.
Okay.
These LEDs up here. So if you guys are if you hit bypass on this analyzer, it should fault to 4 milliamps and stay there. It might even be lower. It might even be like a 3 milliamp. Anyways, it's low, but I would, you know, you're obviously still gonna bypass everything if you had shutdowns on. So if you hit bypass, this will come on. If you hit your first relay, it's gonna hit, one's gonna come on.
Okay.
And then 2, and then if the analyzer goes into fault, so sensor low, sensor high, tape low, or low temp, it'll show a fault there.
Okay.
So if you came in here and you pulled this tape off, it would show a fault.
Okay.
And then in the Modbus registry, if you wanted to grab that, so you guys never have to worry about it, I won't pull this off again, but there's a little light sensor behind this.
Okay. That's how it sees that the tape's low.
Yeah, as soon as that tape gets down to this range,
Yeah.
it'll give you that fault, and you'll see it right here.
Okay. Okay. Question about there's like the window and the gasket is it on this box? Is there one? Like in between, there was just some with the spare parts. Thought there was like a square O-ring and a.
Oh, that'll be in here.
Okay,
inside
that's
here.
in.
You take that
that's
apart.
this guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
This you should never have to really mess with. I mean, humidifier, everything's in there.
Okay.
And really, like, if you did foul this whole thing up, they have this Alkanox, I don't know if you price it, it's just like a detergent or whatever, and you pump this through with like a little air compressor.
Okay.
Liquid compressor. You can attach it to your drill, some people do, or whatever, but they would attach it all the way from there,
And flush out the
and
whole
then
line.
open this up, and then just flush the whole thing out and clean it.
Okay.
So run it for 5-10 minutes, and you're good to go.
How would a guy get his hands on something like that, just so that we have? In
I
case
could
they
ask-
do,
so-
because like I could see it happening and then be like, okay, you guys flush that out, and we'll be like, we pumping spray nine into there or some kind of windshield washer fluid or whatever, right?
Yeah, Envent sells it.
Okay.
I think Envent sells it in a powder.
Okay. You mix
I'd have
up
to look it
your
up.
own thing and then you just pump it in, pump it through, flush it
Yeah,
out.
you like mix it, you know, whatever, 2
Yeah.
to 1 or something, and then
Okay. Could use like a Milwaukee little pump,
Yeah.
like those 18-volt Milwaukee pumps.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I just saw a guy do it the other day. He had one of the bigger ones, so he had a bucket,
Okay.
and he ran it through. He was actually blowing out that line because they were getting weird stains. But yeah,
Okay.
you shouldn't see it a whole lot. I mean, you might see it a little bit more in the summer. I mean, in the winter, it could start to freeze off out there, but it shouldn't.
Okay. Calibration gas, 20 ppm, but we don't have any. Like, if we have to calibrate this thing, how difficult is it to do? I guess, like, I haven't read the manual part for it, but
I mean, you're really just, you're putting in your cal gas, you're just messing with that gain.
Okay.
That's all you can
Okay.
do. Yeah. When we bump test these at the shop, so Envent does everything.
Mhm.
We get it to our shop and we just verify that it's on.
Okay.
And we throw our 20 ppm on there.
Okay. So it's been calibrated, it's been verified.
Yeah.
That's, okay.
Yeah, usually pretty bulletproof, you're good to go.
Okay.
For these units you see come up to like northern Alberta, do you hear any concerns of like running the tubing all along the walls? Because, you know, for freezing issues of the
Yeah, you can. I mean, I don't know how much liquid you guys are really gonna get in there.
No, I think more so in the summer, right?
Yeah,
When we're not cooling as well on the cruise gas.
yeah. Okay. I mean, it usually stays pretty decent, but yeah, I understand, like, it's
Our
gonna
gas
get
is
cold
pretty
up here.
hot, eh?
What's that?
Like our gas is pretty hot and we don't drop.
Yeah, in the winter it'll be better for efficiency, right? If we can run 35 degree coming in.
I mean, I guess your only option, if it does start freezing off, you gotta put we're just gonna put some on top of strut or something.
Yeah, we're just gonna pull it and slap some temp wrap in there, so.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Mind. You're real great.
I guess the only thing, this drain, one thing to note, the drain of this guy just goes into the spent chemistry line with everything else.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible that obviously that check valve could stick,
Mm-hmm.
and then your separator dumps,
Mm-hmm.
and this thing's open at the exact same time,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mhm.
There's always the potential. The only way we could stop it is possibly just doubling up check valves, tripling up a check valve or something. 'Cause even a guy coming out here and doing this, I mean, he could go and shut off the valve controller, make sure it's not gonna happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like we could block in, I guess the
Oh,
dumps.
so you're talking like when you're changing the filter, essentially.
When you're changing the filter, you're gonna wanna make sure that that guy's shut.
The hand valves.
Yeah.
But even under just normal operation, you could have it so that that triggers
Yeah.
at the same time this guy triggers, and then you've got the bolt pushing, but that pushes harder than that.
So,
Maybe.
yeah, oh yeah, so this guy, well,
Should be
you
or
know
is it
what? On these ones, we don't have regulators because we rated everything the same. Typically, we have a regulator, and then this guy's at 500 pounds.
Oh,
Yeah, so at least for this, it should be the same. Yeah, you should.
because we've got,
It should be the exact number.
we got this regulator.
Oh yeah, there's regular with it. Yeah. No, what's that?
Oh, there's a regulator, but there's not a PSV. That's what it is. We didn't need to protect the line. Usually, we have a PSV on the line.
Okay.
No, it's something we actually.
So what should this be set to? Ideally, this guy.
So that's dependent on how you're pushing this into the head pressure of that tank,
Okay.
right? So if you need 50 psi, what are we running here is it like 90 psi or are you higher?
Oh, for our
Your process pressure.
It's gonna be going over. It won't be 1,000.
Yeah.
It'll be less than 1,000. So
Okay.
normally even less than 100 pound.
Normally less than 100 psi. Yeah. So you're probably gonna rock that guy as high as you can.
Okay.
Make sure it gets in there. Because how tall is that tank?
It's gonna high level.
Okay.
97, 98 kPa or something like that is the DP level. The 10 meters on
Okay.
there. So this guy is 0 to 120, so.
Yeah. You're not gonna hurt anything.
Okay.
This guy's 500 pounds. Yeah, this guy's 500 pounds, this guy's 1,000 pounds.
And then this guy knocks it down to.
Yeah, and he's good for like
10.
3,500 pounds,
Okay.
really. Same with this guy. He's 5,000 pounds.
It's plugged. Okay.
You're saying
Yeah,
could
so
we-
normally this runs that adductor,
Oh,
because
okay.
we use the natural gas to run it.
Like on a remote site where you don't have air and whatnot.
Yeah.
But you mentioned probably run the air for the Venturi at 10 psi too. So
Yeah, usually whatever this is at, this runs it, so we keep it the same. Someone threw a 160 on there.
Throw a plug on there just so nobody accidentally flips that.
Yeah. And this guy was half open too.
Okay.
But yeah, that should be safe the whole way. If you went to as high as you could put a main process pressure.
Okay.
Okay. And then yeah, if you set that the same, then you shouldn't have an issue with that coming back.
Okay. Just make sure that that little yellow handle valve is closed if we're working. Got it open for sure. Just in case that check sucks.
That's right.
Dilution panels maybe?
Dilution panels, yeah, we can go talk about that. Okay.